Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and would you look at this, we got a Shake game, and he's not playing Sweden. Can you imagine that? I didn't think it was possible, but here we are in the south of the map, playing in the color blue as the Spanish. It is Shake 2020. I think this is the first time I've casted a non-Swede Shake game, but my original replay fell through out of sync because that's just the life I have to endure in Age of Empires 3. But luckily, Shake sent me this one, and that man's always got me covered. Shout out to Shake, but he's going to be facing some stiff competition because in the north of the map, playing in the color red as Mexico, and a little bit of a historically accurate showdown here, we have Osteo. So Shake versus Osteo, Spain versus Mexico. Not a matchup you see a ton. I'm just glad that it's not Ottoman. So we'll have to see the openings for both players. This is not a matchup I'm super familiar with. I assume that Spain is going to do its standard fortress play. Maybe Mexico tries to go for some sort of early revolt, but the Spanish FF is so quick that I don't think the pressure will amount to much. But we do see a market and a house opening for Osteo. Meanwhile, Shake going with a very standard TP and house opening as Spain. Pretty much the standard opening for every Spanish player. Already getting his 2 hunts in, all villagers on food, and he is just going to be getting a pretty quick age 2 transition here. Gonna be trying to trap this Vincentarista, which I probably did not say correct. They're both gonna be in Spanish, so the pronunciation is going to be doubly horrible today. Losing his war dog, though, quite early, and hopefully he can bag this Mexican explorer as recompense, but I certainly don't think he's going to be able to. Mexico close enough to his TC, he could get some villagers in there, but gonna break off and decide not to. So maybe a bit of an early defeat for Shake, losing that war dog. He's not gonna have that crucial scouting advantage that Spain gets with that extra scout, or even if he wants to take some more large treasures, he's not gonna have that extra attack. But sending capitalism and 3 settlers, the classic Spanish combo. Meanwhile, Osteo sending what looks to be the Alhondiga de Granaditas. Man, that probably was awful. I apologize to any Spanish speakers in the audience for butchering your beautiful language, but what is he going to get in that card? Because I am not a Mexico connoisseur. He does get the Hacienda wagon and 2 settlers, correct? Yeah, okay. So let's see where that Hacienda wagon goes. I'm sure it's going to be placed fairly aggressively, and it certainly looks that way. Look at that. Look at the way it just bounces up in the hills. It clips in and out of reality there on this terrain. This is Sahel. I love this map. It gives me similar, vibes to like Painted Desert. The hunts are very scattered. It definitely has more hunts and more coin mines than Painted Desert, I feel. Sending all of the animals. Look at this animal army. 2 cows and 2 goats, but they're not being escorted. Kind of risky. Those could get intercepted by the Spanish explorer, but it looks like both of them are down here. And Shake picking up a yak or 2 of his own, and 25 wood going to Osteo. He is now getting up to age 2 with the Chiapas. And meanwhile, Shake going up with the governor. So going to be getting that outpost, and we'll have to see where it goes. If he follows with maybe an aggressive play of his own, let's see if he sees the Hacienda. He does not. So he is not aware of that location yet, but based on his scouting path, we will probably be getting it in sight fairly soon. No, he's going to pick up another yak, but he's going to have to scout this out fairly soon. He has to know that Osteo is probably going for something fairly aggressive, possibly a revolt, or maybe just some insurgentes, or maybe even some cav, though a cav start for Mexico is something I almost never see unless it is a revolt. So we will have to wait in the wings and see what happens. I don't think anything Osteo can do can really stop Shake from getting up to age 3, as I said before. That Spanish FF is just too quick. But getting a market in transition is Shake, along with another house. Does not want to let his economy lag, though he's going to be fairly strong with the 3 vills and the coin trickle. Could send 5 villagers as his opening. He has 700 wood, 600 coins, 700 coin, sending that immediately. He's even got 9 Irish Brigs, which is not a card you see a lot of players go for. It's just not a very good mercenary shipment. Trying to pick off that explorer, but might be losing his own explorer now, down to 83 HP. That town Town Center does so much damage, down to 2 HP, and down goes Mayor. I'm not even going to try to say that one. But has he scouted? No, he's still not scouted the Hacienda and an additional barracks. So Shake is going to be playing fairly blind. It does put a good outpost placement here. I don't know if he was doing that intentionally, but it is facing the Hacienda and barracks. And we'll have to see what Osteo is doing, sending the Navajo Riflemen. And these guys cost 250 wood, 250 coin. They inflict more damage to villagers. So they're basically a raiding skirmisher. And I actually think this might prove to be fairly useful here. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 villagers within the vicinity of this side of the base that could be picked off. And if Osteo has, yeah, he does have these dead animals scouted here. So let's see what he does. These guys do have stealth. So could be getting some bang for his buck here, though Shake already on his way to age 3 with the scout. So he's going to have to do some damage here with these Navajo Riflemen in order for this investment to pay off. What is he going to do? He is going to pick off one villain. Those guys really do lay waste to those villagers. Going to pick off another, trying to block them with his Navajo Riflemen. 2 more vills going down. That's a total of 3 villagers now killed by these Navajo Riflemen. And this card already paying off, but it seems like they are more susceptible to the outpost and TC fire. 1 more vill going down. So there's a total of 4 vills going down for Shake, now only at 13 villager population. And what a brilliant raid by Osteo with just 1 card, trading it for 4 villagers before the 7-minute mark of the game. And that's really going to hamper Shake's early economy. And let's see what Osteo is doing to follow up. He has 20 villagers of his own, sending 5 villagers now, already sent 700 wood. So not going all in here, just got a nice raid, did nice damage. And now I think what he's going to have to try to do is he's going to have to try to follow Shake up, right? He can't sit in H2 forever. He can't let the Spanish ball regain momentum. But Shake did go up with the scout. He did not go up with the exiled governor. So this age 3 timing is actually not going to be as quick as you might think. But the 4 Hussar are what he goes with. And the Navajo Riflemen are going to get cleaned up. Are they going to pick off 1 more villager? It doesn't seem like it. But even if all 10 of these Navajos do go down, I still think that card was worthwhile. He is buying time to get into age 3 himself back home. Not making anything currently at the Hacienda or at the barracks. No, I'm wrong. He is making some insurgentes, which will absolutely wreck these Hussars. So really nice play by Shake, getting those Hussar out. But Osteo making the right adjustment here, not overreacting, and even sending 1 Hussar to pick up that Explorer as well. So Shake definitely doing what he needs to do to get back in this game, but he took such an early economic hit that he's going to have to get some good damage of his own done. Now making 5 Lancers and sheeping 5 of his own. So going with a pure Cav army, I'm telling you, Shake loves his Cav armies, okay? Whether it's Hackapellets or whether it's melee cav, he just loves to run around the map and just be as annoying as possible. And it takes a lot of micros, so, you know, it's not something that every player can do, but Osteo going with the Revolt. And is that the Central America Revolt? I believe so. And what can he send? I mean, he has the 1 Falconet. He has a lot of resource shipments. He's got outposts. I'm not so sure that this was the best Revolt, but I mean, he's making soldados, making insurgentes. So right now he is going to hard counter what Shake is making, though these are veteran Lancers and they do have a bonus against infantry. So I don't know. I don't know if I love that play from Osteo. I think, I mean, yeah, it works. It works. But now that Shake is mixing in skirmishers with his composition as well, this Spanish army is starting to get scary, and it's only on a 17 vill economy. So the output of units is not going to be very, very heavy for Spain, but he's going to be able to kind of accommodate some of that with those insane shipments. He still has 9 rod, 8 rod, and 2 Falcons in his deck. He's even got advanced artillery, so could even send mortars as well, though I don't think you would need mortars versus Mexico. That's more of a play against like Portugal or Inca. Advanced artillery is really good, but look at this. He's sieging both buildings at once, making more skirmishers, and he's going to deal with this forward base of Mexico. And right now, Osteo doesn't have a lot to counter it. He's got some insurgentes going with a native post. We'll have to see what's in there. It's the Yoruba. So could be getting some Oyo Legionaries. Could be getting some Iso Riders. I don't really know much about the Yoruba. I have not seen them in a lot of games, but he's still running around with these Insurgentes, maybe trying to get some raids here. But the Spanish army, I mean, this melee cav skirm composition is really scary. These skirms will deal with any Insurgentes or Soldados very quickly. Even picking off a Vill here, maybe going to capture a second one. 2 villagers going down for Mexico here. The count is now 33-20, still heavily in favor of Osteo, and now revolutionaries coming out on top of this. Lots of villagers on wood. What is Osteo going for? He's going for 2 culverins and falconets, but how is he going to deal with all of the heavy cav? He sees them on the northern edge of the map. He sees he needs something to counter this, and 10 Soldados and a couple of Insurgentes is not going to do it. So we'll have to see. Maybe already planning for the 2 culverins coming out, or excuse me, the 2 falconets coming out from Spain. And is Sheikh sending them? Yes, he is. So a bit of a preemptive strike there from Osteo, but if that cav charges in, these artillery pieces are toast. So we'll have to see what he does. Insurgentes getting caught off guard. The cav continuing to siege the buildings in the north of the map, take out the native post. But, oh man, this is such a dangerous engagement for Osteo here. He could lose a lot of this artillery, but Sheikh content to just sit on the periphery of the map and use his skirmishers, even has them in stagger mode. Or not stagger mode, what is this? I don't know. I don't know what this this stance is. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the stance, but it basically mitigates the splash damage of artillery. It's a good micro move from Sheikh there. I would expect nothing less. But Sheikh deciding to retreat there. Maybe he thinks the Mexican army is bigger than it actually is. But I mean, man, the momentum has really shifted into Spain's favor. And I don't really know what Osteo was doing with the revolt. He had a lot of momentum. He had a really nice Vill lead. I mean, is he playing for age 4 here? Surely not. Sending Salvadoran coffee. Ships an additional settler for each shipment. So that's a 7 settler card. That is a really good card. I mean, 7 settlers in H3, that's really good, because I think 8 Vills is an H4 card, right? So, I mean, he's going to buff up his economy, right? He's going to be at 39 Vills to Spain's 23. But, you know, Spain does have 1 TP. No stagecoach on that. So, I mean, the economy is certainly in Mexico's favor, but I'm just so worried about an engagement with this much heavy cav on the field. He'll definitely win the artillery duel, but that might not matter. Now 9 rods coming out from Sheikh, and rods, such an annoying unit to deal with. They're so hard to kite, and especially with this army of Mexico, going to be hard to deal with a huge mass of rods and melee cav at the same time. What is Osteo building in the wings? More Soldados, and he's starting to make some Yoruba Iso Riders. These guys are... What kind of unit are these guys? Did he cancel them? I guess he was training them and decided not to. You can make 5. They're quick training, fast-moving Lancer, slowly loses hit points. Okay, so not a super useful card at this point. Now 2 Culves of Sheikhs coming out, so we have an equal artillery train from each player, 2 Falcons and 2 Culves. But I would definitely say the supporting units are better from Spain. We're going to have some Culve micro here. Is Sheikh going to get off a shot? It looks like he's not. Osteo just staying out of range, picking off the Spanish Explorer, but 1 culverin going down and 1 on 3 HP. So the artillery duel going to Sheikh. And what is Osteo doing? Getting his infantry caught in the artillery train. And now the cavalry are going to get engaged against the Insurgentes. They will have a nice bonus, but against these Lancers, they are anti-infantry units, and it's not going to matter. Falconet's still in the back, but now being sniped down by the culverins. The Yoruba Riders just getting smashed. And this fight is going to be an easy win for Sheikh. And I don't know what Osteo was thinking there with that engagement. I guess he lost his culverins and wanted to get some payback, but his entire army just being sent to the nether realm. My God. Now what is he making? He's making more Yoruba, making more Soldados, and shipping 1 Falconet. And that just seems like a desperation play to me. And again, I don't know if you guys are more, familiar with Mexico. Let me know what Osteo was doing here. What end game is he playing towards? He's got 39 Vills, but I mean, what units is he trying to make? I just don't know what this build is. I don't know what this build's trying to accomplish. Yoruba Riders gonna take down 1 Falconet, gonna take down both Falconets now. And with Minutemen and TC fire, this might be able to do something. One Falconet in the back, and the amount of cav is starting to drop, but still plenty to take out this one Falconet, and that's 100 coin wasted and a shipment. Soldados coming in, gonna deal well with the heavy cav, but more Lancers coming in, and with the reinforcing skirm fire, and now Rod's here to soak up some of the damage as well. And I think, yeah, Shake immediately going for that artillery foundry. As Lion says, if you see an artillery foundry, kill it immediately. But, I mean, there's so many Mexican villagers spread all over the map. If I was Osteo, I would be feeling very precarious about my position. And what does he send, right? Does he send another Falconet that just immediately gets killed? I don't really know what he does here. He's got the superior economy, but, I mean, even then, his villager lead is starting to slip. And now Spanish gold coming in from Shake. That's going to be even better for his eco. It's going to make his gather rate just insane for a short period of time. Oh wait, no, that's not Spanish gold. That's the other one. This is the grants additional coin with all your shipments. I am wrong once again. Superior game knowledge coming in handy. But I mean, I think Mexico is going to lose his town center here, and I'm not really sure what Osteo's doing at this point. Is he just holding out? Is he going to do the Vil in the corner of the map trick? No, he's rebuilding his base. Oh my god, Frontier Outpost. All right, classic Osteo. There he is. I was waiting for him to show up. We have 1, 2, 3 Frontier Outposts going down, and a 4th going down as well, along with a cantina and an extra barracks. So completely shifting his economy, and is going to be playing Tower Sim AOE3 edition. Meanwhile, Shake is looking content to just obliterate the Mexican base. He even has one more Falconet that he trained. Continuing to train them here. No, he's making petards. Oh, man. Hey, why blow it up slowly when you can just blow it up all at once, right? I actually kind of like the petard play here. It means that he's going to be able to keep his army semi-mobile, and he's just going to be able to knock out these buildings a lot quicker than just sitting there with his Falconet. And I mean, he has the resources now. He's on 31 Vils. He's got Spanish gold. He's got capitalism. Could still send 5 Vil. Could send Marvelous Year, which was the card I was originally thinking of. He has sent all of his military shipments, continuing to invest in Lancers. But I mean, the wall of Frontier Outposts, I mean, that's not something to scoff at, right? These Frontier Outposts in this sort of concentration can do work. But with enough petards, he might just be able to bunker bust right through them. Look at that, 2 more Frontier Outposts and just 5 Soldados. I have no idea what Osteo's doing here. I have no idea, but look at that. Advanced artillery coming in, and this is the perfect response from Shake, right? He's just going to get a mortar, and he's just going to slowly grind away at this base. 2 Colves coming out, but almost nothing to protect them. And if Shake sees that, he's going to instantly slap those down. But, I mean, another artillery foundry, another barracks. Maybe he's going to make some tavern units here. No, his gold income is too low. And it frustrates me that I don't know what's going on from Osteo. What's he going to send? 2 outposts? What are we going to see here? Come on, Osteo. Petard hits the outpost, does not kill it. Okay, so that's a good thing to remember. 1 petard does not insta-kill an outpost. 2 Colves running, fleeing to the back, hiding behind the gold mine and the villagers. More petards coming in, gonna insta-kill that outpost. 1 Falconet still alive. I'm sure a mortar is on the way. There it is. Although there's not a lot to protect it anymore. I mean, if Osteo could get out some cav, he could respond. But he's continuing to invest in Soldados. Losing his Falconet, losing his Colves. Does get 1 shot on the remaining Spanish Falconet. The Yoruba Riders coming in. They're going to slap down that Falconet. And hopefully that... Oh, man, that mortar's really exposed. Maybe if he decides to go raiding, he could kill that mortar. But, I mean, Shake can make more. And what's he sending now? 6 revolutionaries. I mean, the Spanish momentum is kind of starting to piddle out. He's down to 33 Vils. Well, not down to, but he's only up to 33 Vils. He has no more unit shipments. Mexico is at 34, but he's got no army. Yeah, this is still Shake's game to lose at this point. I mean, this skirmisher mass, he just hasn't been able to deal with it. Though, these Yoruba riders might be able to do something. Market coming down, maybe going to try to trade all of this food he has for some coin. He needs units. More Lancers coming out from Shake, and now the mortar has been deployed, though it is kind of exposed. He better hope some Yoruba riders don't come out here. The Mexican villagers slowly being ground down to 32 now, so Shake officially has the villager lead. No outpost for these guys to run to. Could flee into the hacienda, but there's so many. Look at this migration. But I mean, Osteo has kind of slowly grinded Shake down, so that now Shake's army is not huge. The only problem is Osteo's army is non-existent. And now he's going to be taking down this one last refuge, and once these 5 Lancers pop out on the rest of these vills, and yeah, look at this. Villager's gonna go down. Trying to flee into the hacienda. 35 vills to 27 for Mexico. And I think Osteo's just trolling now. He's got more Yoruba riders that are actually cleaning up the skirmishers. Oh, killed the mortar. This guy just will not die. He refuses to go down without a fight. And you know what? I kind of respect it. 6 revolutionaries coming out from the hacienda. And I mean, the siege from Shake's army is gone. Still has his artillery foundry, but he has no resources, 26 vills. And Shake even shipping 5 settlers because he has nothing else. Making dragoons now. He wants to keep his army nice and mobile. I like that. Because I think he realizes that Osteo's just going to try to run him around the map. So he's going to stop investing in artillery and just, you know, invest in units that can just chase down these villagers. Look at him flee. Look at him go to the next house. He's got a town center here. What? How did he get a town center up? Oh my God. All right, hey guys, flee. Flee to the 3rd town, right? This was Osteo. This was New Osteo. And we got Saint Osteo over here, right? Okay. Osteo 3. The 3rd is never as good as the original, but the Lancers are now coming in, going to make sure that these villagers cannot gather quickly. And oh, Osteo. Come on, man. Don't be salty. I think it was just a bad revolt. I don't think it was a smart play to revolt. I thought he had a really great opening. I thought he had a fantastic raid with the Navajo riflemen. I don't know what that specific revolt was intended to do. Maybe he was going to go mass artillery and just try to bunker bust down the Spanish base. But I mean, he saw Shake going Lancer. So I'm not really sure there, but it was still a fun game. How often do you get to see Spain versus Mexico? Let's take a look at it in more detail. Follow me to the post game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the post game, and the economy was actually pretty similar until the very end. Though in the military, Shake had the advantage in almost every category: units made, units killed, buildings destroyed. And he just had a better composition, right? He had the more complete composition. It was Skirm, Lancer versus Falconet, Soldado, and we know who wins that fight. But when we look at the timeline here, I just want to go to the villager count here, because look at this raid at the 6-minute mark. Goes from 17 to 13 in the span of 30 seconds. That is huge for that point in the game. And I mean, Osteo takes a huge advantage in vills all the way up to basically the 15-minute mark, right? He's at 39 versus like 26, 27 from Shake. And at one point, it's 35 to 17, almost double the numbers. But then we look at the military unit population, and this is where Shake really starts to take back the game. He takes a couple of excellent fights here, right? It's 83 versus 58, ends with Shake still having 48, and Osteo has 1 military population, and he never lost that military advantage. And we see the reinforcing badges from Osteo almost non-existent for large parts of the game, and when they do, they're always cut down before they have the chance to gain a lot of momentum. So an interesting game for any Mexico players out there. Please let me know, what was Osteo trying to do? Was he just trying to troll? Okay, did Shake just catch him off guard? I'd love to know, but I'll be back with another game in a few days, guys. Until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.